Hello everyone and welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to go over the assessment overview of IGCSE Enterprise. So basically how many papers you have to do and what is the structure of each paper. Before we begin, a disclaimer, all the information that I talk about in this video, just like all my other videos, is from the IGCSE 0454 syllabus, which you can find on Cambridge's official website, or I'll link it in the description and you can get it from there. Now, let's get started. You have two components for the IGCSE Enterprise examination. Component 1 is the written paper and Component 2 is the coursework. Although Paper 1 has more maximum marks, it is still only 50% of your grade. The other 50% comes from your Enterprise coursework, otherwise known as your report. For IGCSE Enterprise, if you're aiming for top marks, then you have to understand exactly what each part involves. So let's go more in depth about both papers. The first component is the written paper. This is similar to the standard papers you're giving for all your other subjects. You'll be tested on the contents provided in the syllabus and it is worth 100 marks. Let me break down those marks. Section A is 50 marks and Section B of that paper is 50 marks. Section A are shorter questions that are mainly testing AO1 and AO2. If you don't know what I'm talking about, these are assessment objectives. I'll pop them up on the screen so you can see what each one is testing. Section B mainly tests AO3 and composes of two questions, which will be question 6 and question 7 of your paper, each having two parts. Part A of both questions will be 10 marks, asking you to analyze, and Part B of both questions will be 15 marks, asking you to evaluate the situation. Question 6 will ask you to analyze and evaluate the situation provided in the case study, and question 7 will ask you to analyze and evaluate whatever situation it's giving you for your own enterprise. For Paper 1, inclusive of both sections A and B, AO1 is tested for 38 marks, AO2 is tested for 30 marks, and AO3 is tested for 32 marks. This shows that they're all almost balanced, so that means it's very important that you not only know the content, but also how to write the application, analysis, and evaluation for whatever situation the question is asking you to. One major problem that students have with this paper is time management. Since the case study for the paper that you're doing is released almost a month before your paper, you don't have much time to write those 10 and 15 marker questions. So it's very important that you know how to structure and how to write those answers as fast as possible, because time is crucial, and you'll only be able to do that by timing yourself doing past paper questions. Common command words you'll find in Paper 1 are state, define, describe, discuss, explain, justify, analyze, and evaluate. I highly encourage you to go through the syllabus to see what each of these means after the video. Anyways, let's go over them. Number 1, state. State usually comes as a 1 marker and is usually one of the first questions in Paper 1. Define comes as a 2-mark question and expects nothing more than the complete definition. Describe and explain are quite similar, and they both come as 2-mark questions, expecting 1 mark for identification and another mark for an example. This will make a lot more sense when you actually start practicing your past papers. Explain is the most common command word, and it comes as a 2-mark question, expecting knowledge and application. Discuss expects a structured, in-depth answer, and justify comes as a 3-mark question and includes AO1, 2, and 3, and 1 mark for each one. Evaluate comes for 15 marks in both questions of Section B as Part B. It expects you to give clear, reasoned evaluation, presenting good analysis applied consistently, and good knowledge on the relative concepts. Moreover, since it's asking you to evaluate, it expects the pros and cons, and then also a conclusion. Analyze comes in both questions of Section B as Part A, and basically expects good analysis consistently and expects pros and cons, but since this is a 10-mark question, a conclusion is not necessary. Some tips: solve topical past paper questions and go through the marking scheme for each question that you solve. By doing this, you're going to get the idea of what they want and you'll be able to answer other questions more easily. It gives you a clear idea of what the question is really asking you. Another tip is when you get your case study, go through it and try and identify what topics they could question you about, and then make a list of predicted questions and try solving all of them. Now let's move on to component 2, which is your coursework. This is an internally completed work but externally assessed in terms of the project, and it is worth 60 marks. You can see the breakdown of the marks on the screen. So here's how it works. You're going to plan and run an enterprise project. You can work either individually or in a group. If you plan on working as a group, it can't be larger than 6 people. If you choose to work alone, pick a small, simple project that you can complete entirely yourself. And if you're working in a group, choose a larger, more complex project so each person has a clear role. One important note is that even if you choose to work as a group, each member will still have to write and submit their own report. And your project ideas do not have to succeed commercially to be assessed. What matters is what you did and how you use those skills, and then what you learned. And with that, our overview for Paper 1 and Paper 2 of IGCSE Enterprise 0454 are complete. I also plan to make a complete guide to writing your enterprise report and basically a more complex breakdown of the coursework. So if you found this useful, please hit that like button, subscribe for more, and leave a comment below if you have any questions. Anyways, that's all for today. Thank you so much for watching.